Does Dwayne know how to do the new game on the scoreboard?
Your starting lineup for the second game for Justice University Lions. Batting first in center field, the number 4, Cy Peterson. At third base, batting second, number 20, Caden Randall. At first base, batting third, number 22, Trey Williams. Designated hitter, batting fourth, number 44, Rosalino Venezuela Jr. At catcher, batting fifth, number 5, Jackson Campbell. In left field, batting sixth, number 3, David Roloff. In right field, batting seventh, number 13, Dylan English. Batting eighth at second base, number 6, Isaac Celea. Batting ninth at shortstop, number 15, Emric Tibertini. And starting pitcher for the second game, number 11, Devin Hancock. For your Warriors, batting first at center field, number 25, Landon Raskin. At first base, batting second, number 13, Jack Varney. Designated hitter, batting third, number 22, Patrick Morgan. At third base, batting fourth, number 24, Ryan Duran. At shortstop, batting fifth, number 10, Alex Chicone. In right field, batting sixth, number 27, Nick Malvini. At catcher, batting seventh, number 28, Tyler Nelson. Out in left field, batting eighth, number 29, A.J. Quesada. And at second base, batting ninth, number 7, Kai Kamada. Starting pitcher for the Warriors, Chris Gonzalez.
Back here on the Warriors Sports Network, Game 2 of this doubleheader, and Game 2 of this 3-game series against Justice University. The Lions coming in from Arizona, Glendale, Arizona to be exact. Chris Gonzalez will be on the mound for the Warriors to take this game after the Warriors took a 13-3 win in the first one. At the first hand, and Cameron Whitty, who had an excellent start, 6 innings pitched. Or 7 innings pitched, excuse me. 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, and 6 strikeouts on a very quality start for the young man. And now it'll be Chris Gonzo, who will try to hold off and try to get a second win here for the Warriors in this 3-game series. Here's what the lineup looks like for the Justice Lions in the second game. Cy Peterson, number 4 in center field. Number 20, Caden Randall, the second spot. The third spot, Trey Williams. At the fourth spot, Rosalino Valenzuela Jr. At the fifth spot, Jackson Campbell. Batting 6, David Roboloth. And number 13, Dylan English at the 7th spot. The 8th spot, it's Isaac Celaya. And then at the 9th spot, Federico Tibertini to finish off the lineup. First pitch strike for Cy Peterson to start things off here. 2:21 start time official. There's the ball off the plate on the second delivery. That's in there for a strike. A 1-2 count. And Chris Gonzalez from Covina, California, one of the few transfers from Providence Christian after their program went under. Alongside Matthew Panzica, who is having a really nice start to the season. 0 ERA in 3 appearances. 3 1/3 innings pitched. There's a 2-2 count here for Cy Peterson. As he fishes out one pitch, flares it to right. It's laid up in the air for Nick Malvini to make the grab.
Third baseman, number 20, Caden Randall.
And one away in the top of the first. And Cy Peterson, he was 0 for 3 with a walk. And here comes Caden Randall, who was 1 for 4 in the first game with a single in the 5th inning of that one. He comes through here with 1 out in the top of the first. Just a little bit outside. Defensively for the Warriors, a little bit different in the second game. Ajik is out on left. Raskin in center field. Malvini in right. In the infield, it's Ryan Duran at third base. Alex Chacon at shortstop. Kylan Kamada at second base. And Jack Varney at first base. And behind the plate, Tyler Nelson at the catcher spot. A 1-1 count here for Caden Randall. A breaking pitch is drilled by an early swing by Caden Randall as he fouls it off for 1-2. Gonzalez with a flat 4 ERA on the season. 1 win already in 8 appearances. This is his 3rd start of the season. 18 innings pitched. Up to a breezy 17 strikeouts, and he gets number 18 here on Caden Randall, who goes down swinging.
First baseman, number 22, Trey Williams.
A solid start here for Gonzo, up on the bump today in the second game. The Warriors now winners of their last 2. The last win before the first game today against Cal Lutheran, 16-9 was the score in that one. A breaking pitch that goes to the other side of the plate and just misses as Trey Williams pulls up on the first pitch. And Williams was the only guy to score 2 of the 3 runs in the first game for the Justice Lions with that 2 RBI single in the 3rd inning. He's got a 1-1 count here with 2 outs. Cuts on the outside breaking pitch, a 1-2 count now. Foul ball down the right field side is out of play. And I'm being horribly reminded about what Westcliff has done to Chapman University the last 2 seasons. Gonzo on the other side of a big win against the Panthers. And a swinging strike 3 for Trey Williams. 2 strikeouts. A 1-2-3 inning to start the day. Or Gonzo up on the mound in the top of the first. We'll go to the bottom half. Coming up here.
too, or is it just curveball? Fine, okay. What was he at? Fastball at 80. You have a microphone? I don't know. You can hear everything I'm saying. We might do wires. Fastball to 80, and then curveball, sliders to 68. Okay. Change up to 69. What was his fastball at? To 80.
We're back here on the Warriors Sports Network. Justin Lee here on the call. A quick 1-2-3 inning for Chris Gonzo Gonzalez up on the mound for the Warriors. Here's what the lineup looks like for the Warriors with the bats in their hands. Landon Raskin leading us off. Jack Varney at the second spot. Patrick Morgan, followed by Ryan Duran. Alex Chacon at the fifth spot. Nick Malvini, and Tyler Nelson, and AJ Kazana. And then at the ninth spot, Kylan Kamada for the Warriors. As Raskin watches ball one, facing off against Devin Hancock for the Justice Lions. A transfer from Solano University with the Falcons. Had a 4.43 ERA, 4-2 a year ago in 18 appearances. Faces off here against a Warriors team that absolutely smashed the ball in the first game. There's the first strike of the count. Raskin was 3/4 of the way to a cycle in the last game. A single, a double, and then a triple. Just came up empty on the last two at-bats of that game. Raskin pops this one high up in the air towards right center. And Peterson will stick under it and make the catch for the first down.
First baseman, number 13, Jack Varney.
So Jack Varney, who was also doing very well as a hot start, the 1-2-3 hitters in the lineup in the first game all had hits, 6 hits in total, 4 doubles. And Varney was on the upper hand of some really nice ABs, 2 for 3 on that first game with a double, a single, 2 RBIs, and a hit by pitch. Starts off with a 1-0 count, and a really nice start at the first base bag as well. Defensively, some really nice plays, a couple of grounders right to him, a diving grab on the first batter that came up to bat in the first inning, and he's worked it up to a 2-0 count. Pitch on the way, it's just on the outer part of the strike zone, but it clips the corner for a 2-1 count. Defensively for the Lions, Rob Beloth in left field, Cy Peterson in center field, and Dylan English in right. In the infield, it's Caden Randall at third base, T. Bertini at shortstop, Salaya at second base, and Trey Williams at first. Behind the plate in this game, Jackson Campbell for Justice University. A 3-1 count here. Just rolled over on the floor and picked up by Hancock, go to first to get the second out.
Designated hitter, number 22, Patrick Morgan.
Just a bit of a roll-off off the bat there by Jack Varney, but a good play by the pitcher, Devin Hancock. And here comes Patrick Morgan. 3 doubles in the first game, 2 RBIs, and really tied a record of Michael Haskup's record of 4 doubles in a single game as Morgan fouls off the first pitch. See, the Warriors right now back to 500 on the season. 10-11 coming into this one. They win the first game as Patrick Morgan checks his swing and he ends up going around 0-2 behind now. And what could be a 1-2-3 start for both sides. The Warriors, as of right now, would be 4th in the Continental Athletic Conference. just behind Georgia Gwinnett, Carolina, and Florida National. But they will not play any of these teams coming up in the schedule. 1-2 count for Patrick Morgan. The rest of the schedule is lined up with a couple of D2 matchups, one against Cal State Bakersfield on next Tuesday, and then they'll play the University of Redlands on the 14th. And by the way, 3-0 against Division III schools. As Patrick Morgan fouls off yet another pitch. University of Redlands right now 7-8 on the season in the SCIAC Conference. This one's grounded, taken on a hopper, and through the first, T. Bertini ends the inning for Justice, and they get a 1-2-3 outing in the first inning. Both sides still scoreless, going to the top of the second.
The Lions, Valenzuela, Campbell, and Robeloff.
So nothing on doing for both sides to start off in game 2 of this doubleheader today. And both pitchers, only 14 pitches on both ends, and a 1-2-3 inning, a scoreless frame on both ends in the first inning. In the top of the second, it's the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Lions here. As the first pitch is in there for a strike to Rosalino Valenzuela Jr. Not a lot of success in the first game. 0 for 4 to strike out, a ground out, 2 ground outs, and a liner to center field. This one in a very similar location as the first pitch, just off the plate this time, a 1-1 count. Flared up in the air, but it's going to leave the park for a 1-2 count. So Chris Gonzalez against Chapman University, 7 innings and 1/3, gave up 2 hits and only 2 runs with 2 walks against 27 batters faced. 9 strikeouts in that performance against the former Division III World Series champs of 2019. As the next pitch is off the plate, 2-2. So absolutely dominated against a Panthers team who continued to struggle the last couple of years against non-division opponents, and most notably the Warriors, who beat them a year ago 1-0 in the last matchup, where they only got 1 run in the 5th inning on February 11th of 2025, thanks to an RBI hit by Miguel Espana in that game. Flared up in the air, but stays in the infield for Kamada to make the catch. That's the first out of the inning.
Number 5, Jackson Campbell.
And Cameron Whitty in that first game was the first pitcher today against the Lions. He went for 6 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, and 8 strikeouts in what was maybe his best performance in a Westcliff uniform. Big swing and a miss on the high fastball to Jackson Campbell, the next guy up. This is his first AB of the day. He didn't start in the first game. A junior from Sydney, Australia. And speaking of Australia, in the WBC right now, a perfect 2-0 record to start off. They beat Taiwan, they beat Czech Republic in the Pool C in Tokyo, Japan, and they're 2-0 in the WBC, trying to make us back-to-back appearances in the quarterfinals after getting out of a crazy pool play in 2023 as the last pitch was fouled off down the left field side. So Justice University, who also have Tibertini on their roster from Parma, Italy. They have a few international players playing on their side. This one is just off the plate, framed up by Nelson. A great frame draw, but the home plate umpire doesn't give him the benefit of the doubt, so it'll be a 2-2 count. A 2-2 for the Aussie. Grounds one, and it gets between the third and shortstop. The first hit of the game from the catcher.
Side fielder, number 3, David Roboloff.
First hit of the game from either side. There's a small grounder right between, and basically the perfect spot right between Duran and Alex Chacon at third base and shortstop respectively. And David Roboloff will come up. A run scored on a hit by pitch from the 9th inning before being scored by Durso Melendez. 2 strikeouts and a ground out in the first game. As he goes after the first pitch and fouls it off. You can go check at first base real quick with Campbell getting back, standing up. Still a couple of games in the WBC today. Puerto Rico takes on Colombia, and United States in their first game of the year against Brazil in Pool B. Venezuela beat Netherlands today. Japan absolutely destroyed Chinese Taipei 13-0. Roboloff fouls off another pitch on the floor. Australia beat Czech Republic 5-1, like we talked about. Mexico absolutely rolling over Great Britain. That one just off the plate. A lot of expectations from Team Mexico to make it back to the semifinals again, where they came up short on Japan after that walk-off by Murakami before they moved on and beat the United States in the championship game from 2023. Another one off the plate on the inside. A 2-2 count now for David Roboloff. Goes to the other side. This time it's a full count for Roboloff coming up. And that's inside the corner for strike 3. Down goes Roboloff.
Right fielder, number 13, Dylan English.
Third strikeout of the day for Gonzo. As Roboloff is donezo for that AB. Dylan English, first AB of this game, pops it high up in the air. Raskin loses his hat. but keeps his focus to make the catch in center field. They leave one man behind. Campbell with the single, the only hit of this game so far. We go to the bottom of the second coming up. 4, 5, 6 hitters for the Warriors.
Duran, Chacon, and Malvini. Third baseman, number 24, Ryan Duran.
Just one hit for Justice, but they leave him behind in the last frame. Still 0-0 and scoreless here in the second game of this doubleheader. Ryan Duran, Alex Chacon, and Nick Malvini coming up. Duran trying to check his swing, but he does go around on the first pitch delivery by Hancock. We'll start off behind with the 0-1 count. That one just lays off and misses under 1-1 count. Duran from Rio Hondo, he was hitting .323 in last season for the Roadrunners. Lays off of a pitch upstairs 2-1, but he's been the most explosive player for the Warriors offensively so far. Already 5 home runs on the season, a triple, 9 doubles, hitting .438 on the season already. Duran drills one deep to left center, going back towards the wall, and it will be caught over the head of a running Peterson. An absolutely high towering ball over that left field side, and Peterson unable to make the catch over his head before it could get to the wall, and prevents a double from Ryan Duran, the leadoff in the bottom of the second. First out. A good jump there by the center fielder. Big dimensions here at the ballpark. 410 dead center, 388 to left centers, 372 to right center. Real mark is left and right field, 327 to right and 331 to left field here at Ben Hines Field in Laverne, California. The first time the Warriors have ever played here at this stadium. The namesake of Ben Hines, a legendary coach here for the Laverne Leopards, who led them to the 1972 NAIA National Championship game and beat David Lipscomb 4-1 in the championship game, the season where they were 44-9. 2-1 count for Alex Chacon. He fouls it off over the press box. Leopards have been one of the strongest teams in Division III baseball. And SCIAC champs 2024, 2023. Regional champs in both those years, as well as Chacon goes down.
Right fielder, number 27, Nick Malvini.
The first strikeout of the day for the Warriors. Here comes Nick Malvini. Malvini with the bases clearing double in the 6th inning of the first game, which scored Ian Carr, Chacon, and Patrick Morgan. A really explosive 5-run inning for the Warriors that made it 12 to 2 at one point. As the first pitch is missed upstairs for a ball. Malvini lets the next one fly in for a strike. Malvini originally residing from Santa Clara up north. 271 batting average a year ago. Managed to hit 3 home runs last year. He's up to 4 home runs to start off this year in 15 games that he's played. He's got a 1-2 count here behind. Devin Hancock delivers. And just barely off the plate. Pulls up a late swing on the high fastball and fouls it off, keeping the at-bat alive. Started out this season as NAIA Player of the Week with 3 home runs and 7 RBIs to start off the season. 6 for 11 in 1 week as Malvini fights off another pitch. The Warriors slowly starting to put things together in the near midway point of the season. Back to 500. Another pitch fouled off by Malvini. Continues to rake these pitches off, and pitch number 9 coming out of this at-bat with a 2-2 count. Hancock delivers again, and again Malvini fights off another pitch. Desperately trying to get on base with a 2-out rally here in the bottom of the second. This one is right back to the pitcher this time. And a 10-pitch AB ends up with another 1-2-3 inning for the Justice Lions. Third 2 still scoreless. Off to the top of the third we go.
Scheduled up for the Lions, Celaya, Timbertini, and Peterson.
What is he sitting at? 82 to 86. Kind of looks like he has a 2-seam too. His 2 seams 82 to 83. Huh? He's up to 86 in the first inning. The second inning it was 82 to 85. It doesn't look like it.
Oh, hey, Jack. Make sure if you have somebody back with you that have a jacket on. You can't have jerseys down here.
Okay.
Yeah, so I saw paint this, yeah.
Okay.
So make sure it has a hoodie or something that's not a jersey.
On top of the third, and what's been a fairly even game here in the second one of this doubleheader. So far, Gonzo has thrown 32 pitches. Devin Hancock is the man he's facing off against for the Lions on the mound is up to 33 pitches. The only difference was that single by Jackson Campbell in the last frame. And the Lions will try to see if they can get on base once again with Isaac Salaya and Federico Tibertini on deck. And then back to the top of the lineup for Cy Peterson coming up. Line driver grabbed and snagged out of the air by Duran on the first pitch. A fantastic out by Duran, reaching over with the glove in his left hand and a reach over to the right side and snagged it out of the air. And that removes a double off the board in the first out of the inning. Here's Federico Tibertini. He was a pinch hitter for Emmerich Eminente in the first game. He knocked in a double in his first AB to the left center gap. 1 for 2 in that first game as he shows bunt and comes up empty with a 0-1 count. Gonzo tries to dot with this one up on the outside corner, but misses just off the plate. This time he travels with the off-speed pitch and it links up with the top corner. So both pitchers trying to go face-to-face right now. This one is lined a foul on the third base side. Very close to giving Duran his second out of the inning. A 2-2 count coming up against Federico Tibertini. Lets it fly inside, caught him looking. Down goes Tibertini. Fourth strikeout of the day for Chris Gonzalez. 2-away in the top of the third. Some good pitching here from Chris Gonzalez. One strikeout in at least the last 3 frames now. Vast majority of this Warriors team, upperclassmen, 12 juniors, 17 seniors, a few graduates on the roster. As Gonzo delivers the first offering and misses just outside on the breaking pitch. Just 2 sophomores and 1 freshman on the team. One freshman wearing number 17, Riley Vogt from Menifee, California. (2-0) missed upstairs. 3-0 count for Cy Peterson. This being a big year for the Warriors with a lot of veteran talent, a lot of experienced players on the roster, a lot of transfers as well. And a 4-pitch walk for Cy Peterson, the first walk of the game.
Third baseman, number 20, Caden Randall.
So the last 3 seasons, the Warriors trying to continuously improve on each season. Last year, they broke the single season record for most wins in a season as the first pitch is flared out in the hit and run, and nothing will come up here. No threat in the top of the third for the Warriors as Caden Randall flies out to right field. To the bottom half of the third we go.
Scheduled up for the Warriors, Nelson Quesada and Kamada. Check that. Catcher, number 28, Tyler Nelson.
Good temperature today. It's been sitting around 70, 71 degrees here in Laverne, California. It'll be Tyler Nelson, AJ Kazana, and then Kylan Kimata for the Warriors here in the bottom of the third. No hits yet, no base runners, and Tyler Nelson will not be the first base runner as he lines it out to left field on the first pitch.
AJ, I was so excited that you were coming up. Left fielder, number 29, AJ Quesada.
It's a big swing hitter for Tyler Nelson, but comes up empty. And AJ Kazana will come up to bat here with one gone away. 2 for 4 today, 2 strikeouts, but an RBI single and another single back in the second inning of the first game. Reached on an error, and he goes after the first pitch and flares it into center field for the first hit and the first base runner for the Warriors in this game.
Second baseman, number 7, Kai Kamada.
And brings up the 3-inning no-hitter by Devin Hancock, and the first base runner for the Warriors is AJ Kazada. Now here comes Kylan Kamada. Not a whole lot of success in the first game, just a walk and the rest just grounders, one of them into a double play. And first pitch off the plate, 1-0. Hancock right now, he's sitting around 82, 86 miles per hour on the speed and delivers one right down the gutter for a 1-1 count. So some good velocity here as a check swing, and home plate umpire says he went around. 1-2 delivery. Kamada almost pulled the trigger on the pitch that started middle and started breaking for the outside corner. Just off the plate. Here comes the 2-2. A check at first base real fast and just able to get back in with the oven mitt there at first base is Kazada. And a swing and a miss by Kamada as he goes down the 2-2.
Center fielder.
Two-way, the second out, or second strikeout for Devin Hancock. Back to the order we go. Here comes Landon Raskin with 2 outs, a man on first. Just 2 hits in total from both sides. 1 for the Lions, 1 for the Warriors. A breaking pitch that starts outside, a backdoor slider that ends up just missing inside. Gets jammed up and it's rolled on the floor to Salaya. He picks it up and throws to first for the 3rd out. So still nobody able to break through. Still scoreless through 3 innings. And a hit from the Warriors and 1 hit from the Lions. We'll see what ends up happening. Into the second half of this game we go.
Scheduled up for the Lions, Williams, Valenzuela, and Campbell. First baseman, number 22.
So both sides just managing one hit each between the Warriors and the Lions, and through 3 innings, still scoreless, and what is turning into a pitcher's duel between both sides. Chris Gonzalez up to 44 pitches, and Devin Hancock only 43 so far through the first 3 innings. And the 3, 4, 5 hitters for the Lions coming up. Trey Williams will lead us off. First pitch is a breaking ball as he swings a little bit under and fouls it off. So the Warriors now 6-5 at home after the win in the first game, 13-3, and 5-6 away. But the good thing is that they're back up to 500 at 11-11. The slider that misses the outside for a 1-1 count. So we talked about the D3 matchup against University of Redlands coming up on the 14th, next Saturday. And Cal State Bakersfield on the 10th of this month. Another pitch that's fouled off. 1-2. The Warriors have 5 games against Bethesda. They have a game against Cal Lutheran, another matchup against another Division III school. Then they've got Noble University, and then they'll play Simpson at least 5 or 6 times this season. A 2-game series and a 4-game series coming up. Also got the Masters on the schedule, and finish with the Royals, number 10 in the country right now, to finish off the regular season. A 2-2 count becomes a 3-2 count with the fastball just missing the top left corner. The Warriors played the Royals in a 3-game series earlier. Well, the first game was canceled, so that one was essentially moved to the last game of the season. So because of the rain from a few weeks ago, and a full count walk to lead off for Trey Williams.
Designated hitter, number 44.
Just a third base runner today for the Lions in this game. Here comes Rosalino Valenzuela Jr. The Warriors came up short against Hope International, 11-6 in their first game, 6-1 loss against the Royals, but they were number 4 at the time. They've since then fallen as Valenzuela checks his swing and goes around to start off with a 0-1 count. And check out first base with Williams standing up. Royals 13-8 on the season. Sweeps Simpson University, lost to the number 1 team in the country in LSU Shreveport. 4-game straight loss as Rosalino trying to go for the fences. Comes up empty behind in an 0-2 count. And another massive swing and a miss. Good morning, good afternoon, good night for Rosalino Valenzuela Jr., the 5th strikeout today for Gonzo.
Catcher, number 5, Jackson Campbell.
So here's Campbell with the only hit today for the Lions. Man at first is Williams, 1 out in the top of the 4th. They're just going to quickly check and make sure that Troy Williams sticks to that first base bag. That's in for a strike. 0-1 to start for Jackson Campbell. Just off the end, 0-2 count. So like we talked about, the Warriors trying to exceed the 25-win mark. They already did that last year. We're passing with a 28-20 record a year ago, 15-8 at home, but the big issue was 11-11 in away games. Finished the 9-9 in the conference. and just barely missed the playoffs last year. So the test this year is really just they have a fairly easy schedule to not to argue with, and if they can figure out how to win at least 75% of the games the rest of the season, they should be in a good spot to participate in the Continental Athletic Conference. And like we talked about before, they are currently 4th in the conference if the season were to end today. And Georgia Gwinnett off to an extremely hot start. Only 1 loss on the season. Winners of their last 5, 18-1. As this one's flared up on a jam shot, and Varney will just sit under it for the second out.
Left fielder, number 3, David Robloff.
So really the big one that the Warriors certainly need to be able to have a say in participating in the Continental Athletic Conference playoffs is really at least beating 4 out of 6 games against Simpson later on this season. And to start off with a 1-0 count on David Roboloth. The Red Hawks are 10-15 on this season right now. 3-5 at home, 7-10. Big hack by David Roboloth. Now with a 1-1 count. High up in the air, towering in the infield. Kamada looking for it. Finds it out of the air, and another clean inning for the Warriors. Only 1 runner left on the bags. We go to the bottom half of the 4th. Coming up, still scoreless.
Scheduled up for the Warriors, Barney, Morgan, and Duran.
Had a few 82s and 3s, but mid-8s.
First baseman, number 13, Jack Barney.
Bottom half of the 4th, still scoreless between the Warriors and Justice University. Jack Varney, Patrick Morgan, and Ryan Duran will kick us off in the bottom half. Still scoreless, only 4 hits on, or excuse me, 2 hits on either side, and only 1 base runner so far for the Warriors and 3 base runners for the Lions, but either side have been unable to break through each other just yet. That one looked like it was going to be off the play, but the umpire calls it a strike, so Varney's behind with an 0-2 count. That one is low under the zone. 1-2. Breaking pitch that misses low. A 2-2 count. And a big swing and a miss. Down goes Jack Varney. Reverse K to start things off at the bottom of the fourth. The third strikeout of the day for Devin Hancock. A fastball delivered, misses low for Patrick Morgan, who grinded out his first AB. A curveball that gets hit towards the foul side on the first base side, and three different defenders unable to make the grab. It'll be a long strike for Patrick Morgan, a 1-1 count. So head coach Dylan Hoffman, who nowadays is wearing number 19 rather than what he used to wear in honor of his uncle, Trevor Hoffman. He used to wear number 51 in his playing days. As the next pitch is over the head of Patrick Morgan for a 2-1 count. Wearing number 19 nowadays in honor of his late girlfriend, Alex Marie DeJong, who passed away back in 2022. She passed away from multiple sclerosis. It's a 2-2 count. So if you see Coach Dylan Hoffman walking by at the end of this inning behind the plate, you'll see that he's wearing number 19 on the back of his jersey. Not just because he likes the number 19, but because he's wearing it in honor of his late girlfriend. A curve backdoor slider that just stays inside. A full count for Patrick Morgan. It's the in honor of the SoCal Mavericks, is the summer team that he operates in the summertime. The Maverick was the name of his favorite dog, as that one gets through the glove of T. Bertini, and Patrick Morgan will get on board. The second hit of the day for the Warriors, the third hit of this game.
Third baseman, number 24, Ryan Duran.
So Morgan, the first single of the day, the fourth hit today he's had. 3 out of his 4 hits have been doubles. But he's able to get on board with the second single of the day for the Warriors. Here comes Ryan Duran as he gets jammed up and rolls on the floor. A flip to second, over to first base. A 6-4-3 double play will end the inning. And the Lions continuing to hold on. Still neck and neck, 0-0, scoreless through 4 innings. We go to the 5th coming up.
Scheduled up for the Lions, English, Celea, and Tibertini. Right fielder, number 13, Dylan Eagle.
Still a very quiet game here in the second one. Very different than what we had in the first game where both teams had a combined 20 hits. There's only 3 hits in this game, 2 from the Warriors, 1 from Justice University. Our first game was a combined 16 runs, and we're still scoreless through 4 as Dylan English, Isaac Salea, and Federico Tibertini will lead things off here in the top of the 5th. And Elsa will chase after this ball. It's going to go off the net for a foul ball, a 1 count to Dylan English. Flew out and just saw 1 pitch in the first AB and popped it out to the center fielder. Tyler Nelson, who originally from College of the Desert, transferred to Westcliff University, who's been in Dylan Hoffman's system for a hot minute. He once played in the PSCL out in Palm Springs with the Power Summer Collegiate League, and also played with the Palm Springs Power in the summertime, most notably this previous summer, and got a chance to see his raw ability as a hitter. Almost drilled a home run out of the park, but it took one off of a 10-foot wall at the very top of it in a game during the season out in Palm Springs. 1-2 count for Dylan English. And a swing and a miss. Down goes Dylan English, and that's the 6th strikeout of the day, handed out by Gonzo.
Second baseman, number 6, Isaac Salea.
So some really solid pitching from both sides so far, and right now Devin Hancock is winning the race in least amount of pitches thrown, but Chris Gonzalez is leading in the strikeout department with 6 in total. That's in there for a strike to Isaac Salea. Actually got to see Tyler Nelson pitch in a game in the PSCL as well. He went for 3 innings in 1 game and actually struck out 3 different hitters. This one's rolled on the floor, gloved up by Chacon. Long throw to first. He'll get the second out.
Shortstop, number 15, Emmerich Tibertini.
2 quick outs here in the top of the 5th inning. The game's starting to fly by a little bit. Just past the 1 hour mark of this game. Nelson hit a triple and 2 doubles in the PSCL, or with the Power actually. And as the first pitch is in there by Gonzo to Tibertino, or Tibertini, with an 0-1 count to start off. Found off to the back net.
My apologies, Frederick Tibertino.
Nelson actually pitched in 3 games for the Blue Sox in the PSCL. The Blue Sox, the winners of the Power Summer Collegiate League in the playoffs, and or excuse me, not the playoffs. It was a different team in that Summer Collegiate League. The Blue Sox won the California Winter League this past February. Oh, 2 count. Tibertini has nothing else he can do but swing at a pitch outside and keeps the at-bat alive. Now behind in an 0-2 count still. Nelson behind the plate experiences mostly as a catcher, but as a pitcher, he showed up in 1 game, went for an inning and 2/3, and actually struck out 4 batters. And a big swing and a miss. Down goes Tibertini, the 7th strikeout today for Chris Gonzalez. Still scoreless through the 4 innings and 1/2. We go to the bottom 5th coming up.
Scheduled up for the Warriors, Chacon, Maldini, and Nelson.
Bottom fifth, just a total of 3 hits through 4.5. The Warriors have Alex Chacon, Nick Malvini, and Tyler Nelson coming up for the Warriors. As they'll try to get more than 2 hits. That's what the Warriors have been able to do against Devin Hancock, up to 55 pitches now in 4 innings. And 3 strikeouts so far. First pitch lays off on the outside half. 1-0 to start off for Alex Chacon. Goes to the other side and also misses as well for a 2-0 count. Three pitches, all missing the strike zone. And Hancock, the former Solano JC player, played with the Solano Mudcats in the Pacific Empire League. Had a 8.04 ERA and 0 for 2 in that summer season back in 2024. And he misses outside for a 4-pitch walk to Alex Chacon to lead off.
Number 27, Nick Malvini.
That is the first walk of the day for the Warriors in game 2 of this series. Nick Malvini steps in. He worked a massive AB as they tried to go for the pick at first base, and just diving in barely was Alex Chacon at first base. Malvini worked up to 10 pitches in the AB before rolling it right back to Hancock at the bump, and was taken out on the ground down. And the first pitch is upstairs, so 5 pitches in a row that he's missed the strike zone. And this time it hits the strike zone for a 1-1 count. The Simpson Redhawks playing Cal State San Marcos today in a doubleheader. They should be in their second game right now. They'll eventually come and play with the Warriors. And 7 games total this season. That one is flared out. Foul. The first game against the Warriors will be on the 27th of this month. They'll have a break in between, so 3 games in the first set, a doubleheader on Saturday the 28th, and then they played the University of Nevada on April 2nd in Reno, California, a Division I school. So interesting choice, but the Warriors will play them in a 4-game series, 2 doubleheaders back-to-back on the 3rd and the 4th of April to start off that month. So a big series between the 2 teams coming up for the 2 West Coast schools of the Continental Athletic Conference. Here's a 2-2 count, and just barely off the plate, makes it full for Nick Malvini. Warriors trying to get their first situation with runners at first and second in this game. Another check at first base, almost getting the back side of Chacon, but he puts the left hand inside that first base bag. Full count off the plate and back-to-back walks. So the Warriors have something to work with here with runners at first and second. No outs in the bottom of the 5th, and Tyler Nelson, who lined out to left field his first AB, will come up to the plate. Plenty of power, plenty of bump in that bat, and we'll see if he can try to get the first runs of this game in a scoreless outing between these 2 sides. Alex Chacon at second base. Nelson showing bunt, pulls up, and the pitch was in the zone anyways. Strike one. Nelson didn't appear in too many games last year, just 3 hits and 10 ABs. Off to a bit of a slow start. He lays down the bunt between first base and third base. They will get the out at first base with Randall picking it up. And the sac bunt moves 2 runners in scoring position. Second and third, the first situation in this game for either side.
Number 29, A.J. Quesada.
So 1 gone and away, and the Warriors have the first runners in the scoring position threatening for either side. And here's A.J. Quesada with one of the 2 hits for the Warriors today as he lets the first pitch upstairs fly by for a ball. Quesada 316 already now, and adding on to a good outing today. He has 18 hits coming into this series. He's already added 3 more to that. So now he's got 21 on this season. He's got a 2-0 count here with Alex Chacon waiting 90 feet away and Nick Malvini at second base. Quesada wanted to pull the trigger but lays up on the breaking pitch and becomes a 2-1 count, looking for the perfect pitch to lay into the outfield. Infield in for the Lions, close to that infield grass at the very edge. Malvini's halfway to third base. Here's the delivery. Quesada pops it high up in the air. Pearson's traveling in from center field. He will make the grab, and no tag up as the throw is pretty much well on line, close to the home plate. And no challenge there, and just like that, 2 outs with runners in scoring position still. So the Warriors trying to avoid leaving behind the first 2 runners in scoring position here in the bottom of the 5th, and it'll be up to Kylie Kamada coming up. Struck out swinging his last AB. Trying to change the narrative of not so great performance in the first 2 games, and he check swings the first one and goes around. Behind it an 0-1 count. The first threat today from the Warriors in game 2. Breaking pitch that clips the inside corner, and Kamada's behind it an 0-2 count. Paying off pitch. And a swing and a miss. And the Warriors come up empty with runners at second and third, and it remains scoreless with the 4th strikeout today by Devin Hancock as they leave 2 behind. Off to the 6th we go.
Back to the top of the order for the Lions. Peterson, Randall, and Williams. fielder.
5 innings we've worked through in total, and a much different story than the first game. The Warriors and the Lions both scoreless through 5. And the Warriors with the first opportunity with runners in scoring position, not only at third base, but also second base. So Alex Chacon with a leadoff walk, and Nick Malvini right behind him. They get left behind after the sac bunt by Tyler Nelson. And then a fly out and a strikeout allows Devin Hancock to keep it scoreless. And here in the 6th inning, we're at the top of the order for the Lions. And Chris Gonzalez, who's had a very nice outing so far, starts off with a 1-0 count. The next pitch is popped up high in the air. Shallow right field. Varney trails over and makes the grab for the first out.
Third baseman, number 20, Caden Randall.
So both pitchers continuing to keep pace some way, somehow. Chris Gonzalez up to 72 pitches now, and Devin Hancock to 73 pitches in total through the first 5 innings. And it's resulted in a scoreless game through 5 innings. And it's really a pitcher's duel between these two sides, as the first pitch is grounded to Duran over to first, and down goes Caden Randall for the second out.
First baseman, number 22, Trey Williams.
And so far, Gonzo has handed out 7 strikeouts, at least 1 strikeout in each of the half innings. With Trey Williams, who has reached on base with a walk today. Tries the slider, but misses outside. Just 1 hit so far from the Lions, and it's the only one so far has been Jackson Campbell with that single between the third and shortstop back in the 2nd inning. But not much of a threat so far from the Lions. They haven't been able to get a runner in scoring position yet. A 2-0 count on the way. And the slider stays inside the zone. Gives Williams a 2-1 count. And a big hack on the off-speed pitch this time. 2-2 for Trey Williams. Two-two payoff. Drilled in, will get through the infield into shallow center, and the second hit of the day on a 2-2 count. Trey Williams knocks the single.
Designated hitter, number 44, Rosalino Valenzuela Jr.
So hit number 2 for the Lions comes up on Trey Williams' 2-2, 2-out hit, and a big hack by Rosalino Valenzuela Jr., who struck out swinging last time. Starts off behind in an 0-1 count. And just the 4th hit in total in game 2 of this one. Drilled in right to Chacon as he makes the grab, and yet another base runner for the Lions left behind at first base. Bottom of the 6th we go. And it's the top of the order for the Warriors coming up in a scoreless game.
As we go to the top of the order for the Warriors, it'll be Raskin, Varney, and Morgan.
Well, the Warriors had a threat in the last half inning for Alex Chacon and Nick Malvini, who managed to get to second and third, respectively. But they came up empty with a strikeout by Kamada. Devin Hancock, who's been pretty much locking it down since then. 4 strikeouts today through 5 innings of work and keeping pace with his protege. And the first pitch lined out to left field is going to one hop off the wall. And Landon Raskin rounds first and heads to second. The first extra base hit of this game and comes off the bat of Landon Raskin. And the Warriors immediately come back with a threat in the bottom of the 6th. A hot one off the bat of Raskin. Just his second double of today, his 3rd extra base hit in a combination of 2 games. And now he's got Jack Vardy with enough capability to get the first run across. It comes up empty on the first pitch, down and low on the fastball, and comes up empty now behind with an 0-1 count. On top of the order for the Warriors here in the bottom of the 6th, trying to break through this lockdown from Devin Hancock. Just off the plate upstairs. Varney 1-3 ground out and a strikeout in his last AB. Very different than what he was doing in the first game with 2 hits, a double, a single, and scored 2 runs off those hits. Hancock keeping a close eye on Raskin. Here's the cutter that comes right back into the zone for a 1-2 count. And Varney, who's been off to somewhat of a slow start on the season, led the team last year with a .358 batting average, 48 hits, and a team leading 45 walks a year ago. Lets this one miss outside, 2-2 count. Played in the West Coast League for the Yakima Valley Pippins in the summertime. Before that, with the Victoria Harbor Cats of British Columbia in the summer of '24. From Mercer Island, Washington, way up north. And lays off of a pitch that just misses outside and fills up the count full. Varney with 10 home runs last year. Was keeping pace with Pat Morgan in the home run race before Pat Morgan eventually outreached him. And Varney grounds this one. It's going to get gloved by Celaya, but he has to go back to first base on a long throw across his body, and he won't make the play in time. And that's an infield hit for Varney, and Raskin moves to third.
Designated hitter, number 22, Patrick Morgan.
So the first inning of the day with multiple hits. And it comes on the end of the Warriors with 2. A double from Raskin and an infield single by Jack Varney. And here's Pat Morgan trying to drill in the first runs of the game with no outs at the bottom of the 6th as he fouls off the first pitch. No movement in the bullpen yet for the Lions. Here's the 0-1. Morgan off the end of the bat on the floor, and no play as the ball gets away from Celaya, and there's the first run of the game scored by the Warriors. As Raskin scores on the error forced by Patrick Morgan, 1-0 in the bottom of the 6th.
Number 24, Ryan Duran.
The speed from Patrick Morgan ends up in what has been ruled as an infield single. So an RBI single gets the party started in the bottom of the sixth for the Warriors. Varney at second base, and now Morgan at first. Duran on an 0-1 count puts this one on the floor. Randall cannot make the play in time, and back-to-back-to-back infield hits for the Warriors at the 2, 3, and 4 spots of the lineup. And now comes Zach Chilton from the dugout. They want a bit of a chat there at first base. It didn't look like the throw was going to be in time either way. So the bases are loaded, no outs in the bottom of the sixth, and the Warriors have strung on 4 hits in a row to lead things off, and it's a 1-0 ball game. Now they're trying to push out further in the bottom of the sixth. Now up 1-0 as they finally break through what has been a very nice day by Devin Hancock. He's having a meeting with Campbell up at the mound right now. Still nothing from the bullpen of the Lions. They look like they have a little bit of movement inside that bullpen. So Varney at third, Patrick Morgan at second, Duran at first, and here's Alex Chacon. A walk and a strikeout today. First pitch of a fastball that misses off the plate. A fastball that gets knocked off of Alex Chacon's chest. A 1-1 count, so the Warriors, they felt like there was going to be a point at least when they start becoming a threat, and they did that in the last frame. Came up empty, but now here in the bottom of the sixth with the top of the order, they've managed to put the Warriors out in front finally, and an off-speed pitch gets Alex Chacon swinging. Behind with a 1-2 count, the bases loaded, no outs. One-two is flared out to shallow right, trailing towards that line, and it's going to stay inside the chalk. Alex Chacon scores another run for the Warriors. And it's 2-0 for the Warriors now with a blooper single to right field just inside the chalk down the first base foul line.
Number 27, Nick Malvini.
So just one good inning so far for the Warriors offensively, and they have 5 hits in a row. And it's going to make it number 6 as that one gets through. One man scores, Patrick Morgan. Duran is going to score as well. Duran's going to get waved home, and he's in there, and going to third is Nick Malvini. Bases clearing. Double by Nick Malvini. Puts the Warriors way out in front now.
Catcher, number 28, Tyler Nelson.
So 6 hits here in the bottom of the sixth. 5 runs in this frame so far as Tyler Nelson steps in and an even 1-1 count to start off, thanks to the double by Nick Malvini, who moves over on the throw to home plate with Chacon running in to score. So a bases clearing triple by Nick Malvini as he drives in 3. And the Warriors are up 5-0. And what has been a pitcher's duel so far today, and a little bit surprised now that the Lions have a man warming up now as opposed to before. So Hancock will have to endure another hitter as Nelson fouls it off the face mask of Campbell. So Malvini has not only 1, but 2 bases clearing doubles in each of the first 2 games here against Justice. He had a bases clearing double in the 6th inning of the first game, and just like this game in the 6th inning, he's knocked in a bases clearing double as well. So having a nice day with 6 RBIs in 2 games. A full count for Tyler Nelson coming up. It's a very clean game up until this point, and now the Warriors are figuring out Devin Hancock here in the bottom of the 6th. Full count on the way, and the at-bat stays alive for Tyler Nelson as he fouls it off. Nelson able to get on board with a full count walk. And now Jake Sudrith will come up to the mound. So having a chat with Hancock, and you gotta give him a lot of credit. He's been pretty good up until this inning. 4 strikeouts, 3 walks. But he's just taken 1 inning for the Warriors to finally get out of this scoreless tie. And 5 innings, or 5 runs so far in this single frame. Here comes Cazada with runners at the corners. Cazada shows bunt and fouls it off. Throw to first. Just a check on Tyler Nelson, who has been replaced by a pinch runner at first base. Ben Carter. Another bunt. It's in play, but it's going to roll just foul off the other end of the chalk. Another check at first base. And the first base bag came out of the socket at the first base side, so they're just going to quickly take a break to get that one fixed. Carson Kawaguchi in the on-deck circle now for Kylan Kamada. Played in 2024 at Pierce College with the Raiders as Kazana fouls off yet another pitch on an 0-2 count. Still no outs here on the bottom of the 6th. Kawaguchi, a junior 5'7" from Hilo, Hawaii, just like where my own father is from. A very nice place in Hilo, Hawaii. A quiet. Another check at first base. If you really want to get a feel for what native, or not really native, but what local life is like in the islands, then you should definitely go to Hilo, Hawaii. A beautiful place, very moist in all regards. People very friendly. If you ask my father what it's like to be in Hilo, it's basically the smallest world on the planet. Graduated from San Diego State, moved away from Hilo, stayed here in California. And Kazana goes down. Swing and a miss. Fifth strikeout. And here comes Carson Kawaguchi, the Hilo native. And still no movement from the bullpen. There is one guy in the bullpen, but when I mean movement, the Lions haven't brought out a relief pitcher just yet. So 1 out, runners at the corners, and Carson Kawaguchi takes over for Kamada. Fastball upstairs, missed is high up. So Hilo, Hawaii, beautiful place. And like I said, if you ask my father about going back to his hometown, he'll say that every single story, and I'm not dead serious about this, he said every single one of those people who own the store, 75% of the people in those stores are probably his classmate. And I'm not even joking about that. A 2-0 count for Kawaguchi. Goes the other way and puts it in front of Robaloth, and that scores yet another run. 6-0 for the Warriors now. A pinch hit single RBI for Kawaguchi. Now it looks like that'll be it for Devin Hancock. Only managing on a single out here in the 6th inning, and his day is done. The Warriors managed to break through this deadlock from Devin Hancock, and we'll have a new pitcher coming out for the Lions coming up here in the bottom of the 6th. We'll be right back.
Now pitching, number 14, Lucas Robertson.
You have got to be kidding. Who, me? You're killing me. I'm a bad boy.
Center fielder, number 25, Landon Raskin.
new pitcher on the mound takes over for Devin and Hancock. In the bottom of the sixth, the Warriors have broken through the deadlock of a scoreless game, and it is now 6-0. As you join us back here on the Warrior Sports Network, 1-0 count for Landon Raskin, who led off this inning with a double and before being scored by Patrick Morgan's RBI single. And it's been this inning started off with 6 straight hits from the Warriors. And Hancock only managed to strike out on AJ Quezada. So we've gone through a whole column, and Zach Chilton has seen enough. So a 1-1 count for Landon Raskin. Devin Hancock finishes with 5 innings, 1/3. Now 8 total hits on the board. Excuse me, 9 hits now for Devin Hancock. 6 runs, 6 earned, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts for Devin Hancock. A 1-2 count for Raskin. There's a delivery. Raskin going deep to left. Roboloth will trail over, close to the warning track, and make the grab for the second out.
Now batting, number 55, is
That makes sense. Hayden Letzing will take over for Jack Varney. He took over in the first game for Jack Varney back in the 7th inning of that game and got on board with a hit by pitch. Both runners go. First pitch, fastball upstairs, misses. And no try at the bases on the throw, so Ben Carter moves to third, and Carson Kawaguchi to first base now. A 1-0 and almost cuts in front of. It does get Hayden Letzing in the inside part of the jersey, and he will, for a second time today, get on base with a hit by pitch.
designated hitter, number 22, Patrick Morgan.
So Letzing will get the freebie in. Not sure if he particularly enjoys getting hit by a pitch. So his 3rd hit by pitch on the season. So the bases are loaded with 2 outs. And that's in there for strike to Patrick Morgan, who drove in the first run, the go-ahead run for the Warriors. And they haven't looked back since here in the bottom of the 6th. Robertson, the relief pitcher, trying to keep the lead at 6 for the Warriors as he delivers and misses inside. The sophomore from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Fastball right between the legs of Robertson, and it goes into the outfield. One comes around, another one comes through. Kawaguchi scores, and Carter makes it 8-0 on the 2 RBI double by Patrick Morgan.
Third baseman, number 24, Ryan Duran.
And the first pitch goes ahead and nails Ryan Duran in the back, and once again the bases are loaded.
Shortstop, number 10, Alex Chacon.
So Pat Morgan, who is having a really good day today, 2 singles and a double, 2 RBIs. A whopping 8-0 or 8 runs on 10 hits. Now in what was extremely close so far up until this point, and now the Lions are showing some weaknesses right now. Patrick Morgan has an extremely nice day today. 4 doubles and 2 singles on the day. He's continuing to show off why he's one of the best on this Warrior staff. A 1-1 count here for Alex Chacon, a RBI single in his last AB of this inning. And a steal from the third base side, nobody ready. And that's a stolen base and a score by Hayden Letzing, and the ball gets away as well, and another run's gonna come across. 10-0 for the Warriors as Robertson gets caught absolutely sleeping on that pitch. Well, you don't see that one every day. And Robertson couldn't really move as he started motioning. Just had to stick in there and just throw a pitch inside, and Letzing was already 3/4 of the way towards home plate. A meeting between the umpires at the moment, and maybe trying to see if maybe Letzing went a little too early or whatnot. So we'll see what the call is. Meanwhile, Duran moves over to second base now, and so extremely rare 10 runs on the board for the Warriors. And it's 10-0 for the Warriors. And they're going to let the play stand. So 10-0 on 10 hits for the Warriors now, as it starting to get a little far out of reach here for the other team. And another single gets through. Duran gets stopped in his tracks. And Chacon is on board with back-to-back singles in just this inning.
Right fielder, number 27, Nick Malvini.
Here's the first pitch inside for a ball to Nick Malvini. An explosive inning for the Warriors. Took him some time to get this explosive inning as Malvini fouls it off. Maybe the wildest bingo card in a half inning. Doubles, singles, and a stolen base by maybe the least expected guy to steal home, and Hayden Letzing, 6'3" senior. Canadian comes flying all the way through, and Malvini lines this one to center field, and Peterson makes the catch, and that ends the inning. But the Warriors with a 10 spot on the board, 10-0 going into the top of the 7th.
Now pitching for the Warriors, number 11, Shunta Kanoya. Scheduled up for the Lions, Campbell, Goboloff, and England. Catcher, number 5, Jackson Campbell.
Top of the 7th we go in game 2 of this doubleheader back here on the Warriors Sports Network. And Warriors with a 10 spot on the board as they lead 10-0 on the Lions. It just took him 9 hits last half frame to get on the board finally in what was a scoreless game up to that point. But now the Warriors hold the advantage way high as they have not only scored 1, not 2, but 3, but 4, but 5, but 10 runs in the last half inning. And so that'll elect a bullpen change here for the Warriors as Shunta Furia steps in. He delivers a strike on the next one. Shunta Furia takes over for Chris Gonzalez in an extremely nice day for him. 2 hits, no runs allowed, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts in 6 innings of work. 80 pitches in total for Chris Gonzalez. Furia delivers a breaking pitch, 1-2 on Jackson Campbell. Furia from Kanagawa, Japan, a senior 5'8". Tries to go with the slider here and misses outside to 2-2 count. Bit of a rocky start this season, a 10.66 ERA, 12.2 innings pitched, and 15 runs allowed. Only 4 strikeouts so far this season, has started in only 1 game so far. As he delivers a breaking pitch, and down goes Jackson Campbell swinging.
Now batting, number 29, Logan Carlin.
And the first pinch hitter of the day for the Lions, Logan Carley, will take over for David Robeloth. Just off the plate on the first delivery, ball 1. Logan Carley, a freshman from Gilbert, Arizona. So Furia was tied with 3 different pitchers on the roster last year with 4 wins. 4-1 on that season, as the next pitch is fouled off by Logan Carley. Furia was with a 6.2 ERA a year ago. His 2 games started, 12 appearances in total. Not a lot of starts, but trying to become a solid bullpen piece out of the pen for this Warriors team. Let's see if he can work around the order here as he comes with a backdoor slider right back into the zone. That was pretty. And Carley was caught in dreamland as he pulled the head away. 1-2. A fastball high on the outside corner, 2-2. A curveball misses just barely above the strike zone. A full count for Logan Carley. Some ridiculous number on the board for the Warriors. There's 5 left on base, but they've taken advantage of the bottom 6 where the pitching started to struggle as the next pitch is flared up in the air. Sunlight in Letzing's face, but it falls in for the fly out in the second out.
Right fielder, number 13, Dylan English.
So what Letzing did in the last half inning, stealing home plate, is something we hadn't seen since Zane Parmenter and what he did at Canyon High School a year ago. A curveball that somehow misses the upper part of the strike zone on a 1-0 to Dylan English. That one this time hits the strike zone, a 1-1 count. English with a very distinctive gear. It looks more like he just rolls around in the dirt, the helmet, the gloves, and the shoes. Maybe all white at one point, and delayed swing. Swing and a miss by English. Now with a 1-2 count. Fastball, and down goes English. That's a 1-2-3 inning for the Warriors, and they keep the Lions off the board with the 8th strikeout today by the Warriors pitching staff. We go to the bottom half of the 7th, and the 7th inning stretch, 10-0.
Now pitching, number 1, Kato Takahashi.
Oh my.
Man behind the plate, catcher number 28, Tyler Nelson.
So Warrior will look to try to tack on a few more runs here in the final game of this doubleheader. One more game tomorrow for the Warriors against this Justice University Lions team. And that will take place at Canyon High School tomorrow. So remember, don't drive all the way out here to Laverne. Make sure you go to Canyon High School, 1 p.m. start time. Thank you. 11 a.m. start time at the game tomorrow. 0-1 count to start off for Tyler Nelson back in the order. 0 for 2 today, a walk as well. A breaking pitch that comes right back and it clips the outside corner of the strike zone. Now Nelson behind the count. It's a new pitcher on the mound for the Lions here after Hancock with a pretty nice day up until the 6th inning, and Lucas Robertson took over in the last frame, going for 2/3. 17 pitches thrown, 2 hits, 2 earned runs. His day is done after taking over for Hancock. Nelson goes the other way. It's gloved by Williams, and he will step on the bag. A diving snag out of the air robs Tyler Nelson of a single.
Outfielder number 29, A.J. Quezada.
1 out in the bottom of the 7th. So let's talk about the new pitcher on the mound for the Lions. It's Keito Takahashi, junior from Toshima in Tokyo, Japan. Delivers the ball upstairs. Very similar mechanics to Yoshinobu Yamamoto. A delayed leg kick up in the air. Similar mechanics to many of pitchers' styles in Japan across the Pacific. A 1-0 count to start off for AJ Quezada. Just off the plate, a 2-0 count. That's in there for a strike off the outside corner. A 2-1 count. Justice will finish off this series against the Warriors. They will take on Bethesda coming up in March 20th through the 21st, 4-game series, as this one's flared out foul by Quezada. We've got Nelson University, Ottawa University, and Arizona Benedictine Mesa, and then they finish off the season against Arizona Christian and Simpson University in a 3-game series. So kind of making their rounds in California and close by in Arizona. Just needing to travel on the 10 freeway. Breaking pitch. Quezada rolls it over. Glove by Randall. Has to make a long throw to first, and it's perfect.
Second baseman, number 7, Kai Kamada.
2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. So 2 players with similar heritages. One from the islands, one from a different archipelago in the Pacific. Kamada back into the order after a pinch hitter with Carson Kawaguchi took over and knocked in an RBI single in his first AB. So Kamada trying to get on the board for the first time today. Not a lot of success, 3 strikeouts, a couple of ground outs, and a walk in the combination of 2 games. One on the way, another one outside. Kamada comes with a fastball, and it gets away from Tibertini, and the first hit of the day for Kamada as he's able to get on board for the first time today.
Going to the top of the order, center fielder, number 25, Landon Raskin.
That keeps the inning alive here with 2 outs, and here comes Landon Raskin for his 5th AB of the day, or in this game, his 10th AB within 2. A 1-0 count to lead things off. Fouls off the next one, 1-1 count. Breaking pitch in the dirt, and Campbell keeps it in front. A 2-1 count, albeit. Off the plate, gets away from Campbell. A sleight of hand trick, and Kamada gets a free bag. A 3-1 count. A floater that comes right back into the zone. Full count on Landon Raskin with 2 outs at the bottom of the 7th. Meanwhile, in the WBC, the Puerto Rico team up on Colombia 5-0 through the first 5 innings. Dominican Republic and a full count walk for Landon Raskin.
First baseman, number 55, Hayden Letzing.
Dominican Republic is tied with Nicaragua in the first inning, 1-1 right now in the WBC. A high fastball, big swing and a miss by Hayden Litzing. Warriors at first and second with 2 outs at the bottom of the 7th. Litzing reached twice today with 2 hit by pitches after taking over for Jack Varney. And what he did was pretty special as he stole home plate on Lucas Robertson rather. There's the 1-1 on the way, and just goes under the zone. Got Brendan Alvarez on the on-deck circle. High fastball. Trying to shave off the peach fuzz on Hayden Letzing's face. (3-1). A cutter that comes right back in. Another full count. Litzing trying to get on board with a full count. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Runners at first and second. Litzing for the 3rd time today is going to get on base by a hit by pitch. Boy, is the guy a magnet for balls.
Designated hitter, number 66, Frederick Alvarez.
So don't know what's in the air today for Hayden Letzing, but he's been hit in the back 3 times today, and he's managed to get on base in all 3 of his at-bats. So not sure what is going on for him, but he'll at least take it. 2 outs, the bases are loaded here for Brendan Alvarez, who takes over for Patrick Morgan. His first AB of the day, a transfer from Cornell College. Rolls it down on the floor, picked up by Randall. He will walk over to third base to get the 3rd out. So no extra runs scored across for the Warriors. And through 7, 10-0. Still up by a massive number as we go to the 8th inning here on the Warrior Sports Network, Game 2 of this doubleheader.
Scheduled up for the Lions, Celaya, Tibertini, and Peterson. Second baseman, number 6, Isaac Celaya.
So the Warriors are going with some defensive subs here as the first pitch is delivered to Isaac Celaya in their first strike. Another inning of work for Shunta Ferreira in relief of Chris Gonzalez. Another great day, 80 pitches in total, and a crazy curveball that cuts right back in. And Celaya watching it all the way through, an 0-2 count. And that's another strikeout for the Warriors. The 3rd one for Shinta Furia.
Number 15, Frederick Tibertini.
10 strikeouts against the Lions hitters in game 2. Another curveball. That thing is just nasty. Opposite side and in foul territory. Letzing makes the grab. 2 quick outs there in the top of the 8th inning. The Warriors up by 10 runs. First pitch misses, back to the top of the lineup for the Lions, Simon Peterson. So Ben Carter takes over at shortstop. Riley Vogt, the only freshman on the roster listed. Another curveball that comes back in. Another Statue of Liberty against one of the Lions hitters. And Ian Carr out in right field now for Malvini. So handful of defensive subs for the Warriors. And curveball starts outside, comes right back in, and it's just working for Furia. And a high fastball misses upstairs 2-2. Only difference today, a 10 spot on the board. Faria comes with another slider, but it and this is inside. A full count for Cy Peterson. And a 3-2 misses. Almost got another 1-2-3 inning, but a full count walk for Cy Peterson as he gets on board. Pretty far away from a 2-out rally, and it's going to be extremely tough here for the Lions to try to get something done here. Another pinch hitter here for the Lions. And the first pitch getting nailed in the back by Furia.
First baseman, number 22, Trey Williams.
Maybe a little payback for hitting Letsing 3 times today, but against an interesting choice in the pinch hitter in Elian Tortolito, who's a freshman from Saratoga Springs, Utah. And Trey Williams will come up to bat with runners at first and second. 2 outs in the top of the 8th. And game starting to slow down as this one's drilled towards Coffin Corner. Gets down into the right field side. This is going to put the Lions up on the board. Another one's going to come across in Randall. Or excuse me, Tortolito and Cy Peterson both score. And there's 2 runs on the board as a bases clearing triple for Trey Williams eliminates the shutout.
Now batting, number 17, Austin Wade.
So Boston Wade will come into pinch it for Rosalino Valenzuela Jr. And he fouls off the first pitch. That is the first triple of the day for the Lions in a combination of 2 games. Well hit and drilled to right center, and this is going to score another run. Ten to 3 as the Lions are digging into the 10-run lead of the Warriors.
Catcher, number 5, Jackson Campbell.
So a 2-out rally here for the Lions. They put up 3 on the board. Jackson Campbell up to bat here. Man at first is Boston Wade, a pinch hit RBI single. So the freshmen on this roster are getting the job done right now. And Campbell now behind with an 0-2 count. the future of this Lions team, putting on a bit of a showcase late in this game. Right now trying to prove to their coaches and Zach Chilton that they are going to try to carry this program into the future. One-two on the way. And a big swing and a miss. Down on the floor. Nelson will throw to first. A strikeout for Shunta Faria, but the Lions eliminate the shutout, adding 3 runs to the board in the top of the 8th as we go to the bottom half of the 3rd coming up.
Due up for Westcliff, Raleigh Vogt, Ben Carter, and Ian Carr. Ladies and gentlemen, there's been a change in the schedule for tomorrow. Please note, at Canyon High School tomorrow in Anaheim Hills, the game's been moved from 1 p.m. to 11 a.m. Once again, from 1 p.m. to 11 a.m. at Canyon High School in Anaheim Hills. Third baseman.
So no changes defensively for the Lions after bringing in some of the freshmen off the bench. They managed to put up a 3 spot on the board for the Lions, and it's a 10-3 ball game with one more chance for the Lions to try to make a comeback down by 7 runs. First pitch is flared up in the air and foul for the pinch hitter and Riley Vogt. Took over defensively for Duran in the last half inning at third base. Just misses low. Riley Vogt, a 6'4" freshman from Liberty High School. 7 hits in a couple of ABs, and he goes after this next pitch and gets number 8 on the season.
Shortstop, number 12, Ben Carter.
So Riley Vogt with a leadoff single. The Menifee native gets on board here in the bottom of the 8th. Another pinch hitter for the Warriors, Carter, who took over at shortstop. ball gets way away from Campbell behind the plate, and a free bag for Vogt as he goes to second base. Foul ball down the left field side. A 2-1 count, misses inside. 3-1.
Who's that, right?
Misses upstairs. A 5-pitch walk for Ben Carter. Puts a man on first and second. No outs here. So complete bench cleanup here for the Warriors as Ian Carr will step in. So Ian Carr goes after the first pitch, playable in foul territory, and no one can make the play just in front of the Warriors dugout. So it'll be a foul ball on the first get-go by Ian Carr. Came in as a pinch hitter in the last game for Nick Malvini in the 8th inning and actually knocked in a single to get on board for a double play, got him out. 0-1 count. A pitch that starts outside and stays outside, a 1-1 count. So runners at first and second. Riley voted second. Ben Carter at first base. Warriors trying to start off this weekend on a high note. Finishing the first game 13-3. And they're up 10-3. This one is drilled to center field, and it will be caught by Peterson in center field for the first out.
Catcher, number 28, Tyler Nelson.
Not much to it right now, and here comes Tyler Nelson, who has been very close to getting a hit a couple of times, but the last AB he got robbed by Williams at first base. Deep drive, left field, stays in the yard just beyond, and another well-hit ball by Nelson just misses by a tad in left field, and there's a second out on the line out.
Number 41, Kobe Wagasuma.
Wagatsuma comes in. Came in as a pinch hitter and smacked a double in the 8th inning to lead off. That's the first pitch fly, ahead with a 1-0 count. Ball gets away from Campbell, and everyone moves over 90 feet. So Vogt now goes to third, Ben Carter goes to second. Wagatsuma with a 3-0 count. Hopefully we'll get a red light here. There's a delivery, and it's a 4-pitch walk for Wagatsuma, and the bases are loaded with 2 outs.
Second baseman, number 7, Kai Kamada.
So Kylan Kamada will step in. He hit a single.
Yes, sir. My roommate. My roommate. Let's go, David.
So Kazada comes back in and instead becomes a pinch runner for Colby Wagatsuma, who took over for him at the plate. Kamada lets the first one fly. Second one comes a little too inside. 1-1 count on Kai Kamada, who finally got a single in the last AB, just beyond the reach of T. Bertini. 1-1 count, another one in the same exact location. 2-1 count, 2 outs, bases loaded. And the Warriors trying to get some extra insurance runs here in the bottom of the 8th. Big wide open hole between the third baseman and the shortstop. So if Kamada can pull one through, might get a bases clearing single. Kamada lays one off and fouls it off. Two on the way. It's a curveball, and Kai flares it off, keeping the AB alive. David Madera Jr. from Ripon, California is on deck. Ripon, California, rather. Junior transfer from the City College of San Francisco, waiting on deck to take over for Landon Raskin as Kai continues to fight off pitches 3 in a row now. Keito Takahashi trying to get off of the mound in the bottom of the 8th. Kamada fouling off another pitch.
Yeah, you're gonna put live stuff. We get to use it.
Another one flared out to right, and it's another foul ball. 5th pitch in a row that he's managed to take off. The 2-2 count remains with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Warriors trying to add more to the board, up 10-3. Takahashi delivers. And this one is put up in the air, almost out of the reach of the first baseman, but Williams is able to leap high up and get the 3rd out and leave 3 on the bags. So bases loaded, no insurance runs for the Warriors, and one more chance for the Lions to try to come out of a 10-0 hole, down by 7 runs.
Now pitching, David Bendel for Westcliff. Check that, Daniel. Scheduled up for the Lions, Carly, English, and Soler.
New pitcher on the mound for the Warriors to finish things out here. This doubleheader up by 7 runs in a 10-3 ball game of this doubleheader, the second one today. Warriors trying to get a sweep on this Friday afternoon. Daniel Vendel, the junior from Palm Desert, California.
Logan Carly.
Former teammate of Tyler Nelson, who's behind the plate. Transfer from College of the Desert. This is his 8th appearance of the season. And he catches the first pitch swing from Logan Carly. So for you with 33 pitches total, 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 3 runs, and 4 strikeouts in that relief effort. Delivers a high fastball. Trying to finish out a big day here for the Warriors offensively. Tries the slider, but releases it a little too high, a 1-2 count. And this time he's able to roll it over, and Statue of Liberty, Logan Carly goes down.
Right fielder, number 13, Dylan English.
Twelve strikeouts in total against the Justice Lions hitters today. English jammed up, right back to Vendel. And he'll throw to first for the second out. And the Lions are down to their final out of the day.
Second baseman, number 6, Isaac Slab.
Isaac Slaya will potentially be the last hitter today for the Lions, but before they finish off this series tomorrow at Canyon High School. And a reminder, the start time is no longer 1 p.m. It is 11 a.m. at Canyon High School tomorrow. Here's the first pitch. A cutter misses low. Fouled off. Vendel trying to send us home. Two hours and 40 minutes later. Warriors up 10-3. There's the 2-1 delivery. Fastball upstairs. Check swing. Appeal to the first base umpire, says did not go around. A 3-1 count. Fastball rolled on the floor. Carter takes it, throws the first. And the scoop by Letzing ends the game for the Warriors. Capping off a huge day offensively. A 10 spot in the 6th inning gives the Warriors the 10-3 victory, and they win the doubleheader twice in a row today. First game 13-3 and 10-3 victory here. They'll finish off this series against the Lions tomorrow at Canyon High School at 11 a.m. Devin Hancock will be the losing pitcher today, and Chris Gonzalez, Gonzo Gonzalez, with a great outing on the mound. 80 pitches, 6 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts with only 2 hits and no earned runs against the Lions. So a great day for the Warriors pitching staff. And as we see to our friends and family at home, thanks for joining us here at Laverne University here in California. A great one for the Warriors. We'll see you tomorrow against the Lions at Canyon High School at 11 a.m. Good afternoon from Laverne University.